One. There we go, look at that, nice and high. There we go. Little clip. There you go, 2 in a row. Yes, hello everyone, welcome to another video. We are going for every crossing technique today. I've really been excited for this one. Okay, now I think a lot of people get quite confused with their crosses, all right, and don't know what to use where, how to do it. I'm gonna get through all of that today, okay, on 4 really good techniques that you guys can put into your training and make it better on your match day. All right, let's get into this one, every crossing technique. Right, so let's get on to technique number 1. It's your standard cross, your whip, your curl, your Alexander Arnold, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it is your standard cross. Now, I'm going to give you an easy version and a hard version, okay, because I think sometimes people struggle with really getting around the football when they're crossing the ball. Now, what I mean by that is this. Most of the time, you watch like the best players in the world do it, like Alexander Arnold. His hips are facing right down the line, okay, and then he switches his hips so much and his follow through so strong. They're really good at getting around the football. Okay, now sometimes I understand that is a struggle for a lot of players. Okay, because your body is literally going from here to twisting right round towards the goal, and that trying to get that contact point when you're whipping yourself that fast around the ball is tough. Okay, so first I'm going to show you a little easier technique. All right, so instead of you rolling down here with your hips facing this way, which I will get to in a minute, don't worry, I'm going to do that after. Okay, instead of you running straight to the football, we're going to try and get our hips facing that target a little bit earlier, okay, just so we don't have to be as strong on a follow through, okay, and trust the follow through as much. This is the easier one. We're going round. How are we going to get our hips facing the target before we cross? After a nice big touch at our feet, we're going to arc our run round and really try and get our hips facing our target. Okay, it's going to make the follow through a lot easier and make our contact point a lot better. Okay, so for those of you who are struggling, first off, okay, you might want to try this before you go into the more advanced one on your follow through. If you're struggling on your follow through, your cross is going to look a little bit like this. Okay, now I will quickly touch on your contact point. It's literally pretty much the same as your shooting. Okay, you're going to use these parts in here, in between laces and maybe the bottom of your inside of the foot. Okay, right in here. Okay, and we're coming right round the outside of the ball still. Again, with the first one, we can probably go through the middle a little bit more, still making sure we use the inside of our foot. So, you know, like this, you go and touch, watch, arc your run round the ball, and you're just punching it in there. That's a nice cross, that. Might be big lad in there, back post, head it in. I'm going to do it again. Watch the way I arc my run, okay? Now, with this technique, my leg doesn't have to move as much. I don't need as much on it because my hips are doing most of the work. So I'm in here, I'm going out, I'm going round the ball, punch. There we go, right along the 6-yard line. Hopefully we catch the defenders out and we can get it in between goalkeeper and defender. All right, so when we're crossing in these type of areas, imagine, just quick, the centre halves or the defenders are in these sort of positions. Okay, we're in here and we're looking for that one in behind them. So they're dropping off, they're expecting a cross, ball's coming in behind them, in between goalkeeper and defender. So we're aiming around the 6-yard line. Okay, that's the area we're aiming for. All right, now I'm not going to worry too much about height at the moment. I'm just going to concentrate on trying to get it around the 6-yard line, okay, and trying to come around the football. Okay, so technique number 1 is your easier crosses. Now, I will still do this. If I have the time to do this, I will do this because it's easier. Okay, so that one there, if you notice you've got a little bit of time and space, take a big touch and get round the ball a little bit before you punch it in. It's going to make your cross 10 times easier. Okay, so I'm going to get the balls back in now. I'm going to go through the more advanced version. Right, so on to the more advanced one. Okay, this is when, say we receive a ball from infield, we go down the line and our hips are stuck like this. We have to cross it. All right, now we have to focus a little bit more on our technique on this one. Okay, the first one, it's a little bit, your leg doesn't have to move as much. Your backswing and follow through isn't that big. With this one, we're really going to go big backswing right round the football. Okay, because we've got to make sure that follow through is strong. Okay, so we're going to go with the part of the foot that I've mentioned already. And this time, we're really going to get this follow through across our body. We're going right around the outside of the ball because we've got to create that spin. Okay, so we're going right around the outside, strong follow through, good contact point. All right, now we're going to keep our hips out here and we're going to switch our hips really quick, which is going to help us get our foot right around the ball. Again, I'm going to aim for the same 6-yard line. Okay, I'm going to make sure my hips are even going to stay out here on contact. Okay, because that's going to enable us to really get round the football. We can get a lot more spin and curl on the ball when our hips are facing away from our target. All right, so this is why sometimes the quality of the cross is sometimes a little bit better, okay, when we use this technique. All right, so here we go. I'm going touch there. Nice, that was perfect. That was perfect, right round the outside the ball. Set my hips into a strong, quick follow through. All right, here we go, going again. Ready, 1, touch. There you go, 2 in a row. 2 in a row, exactly where I need them. That, if the defenders are backtracking, is a difficult one for them to defend. It's along the ground, it's hard, it's low. It's going to make it easy for my strikers, my wingers, anyone getting in the box for a little tap in, okay? I'm now going to do the same technique, and we're going to go through how to put a little bit of height on the ball, because sometimes people struggle with that. All right, so I'm going to get the balls in, I'm going to go through a little bit of height, and then we're moving on to the next technique. Right, so how are we going to get the ball up in the air if we do want to cross it to maybe someone that's a little bit further at the back of the box, okay? What we're going to do is going to bring our feet, especially on our follow through, a little bit up towards the sky. So instead of across our body and round, we're also going to go across our body and up towards the sky. Now I recommend with this one, probably taking a little bit of pace off your technique in general. I think with those ones that I've just done, I'm really getting round the ball, and because my technique's so strong, it's staying down to the floor. So here, I'm probably going to take a little bit of power off the whole backswing, go a little bit looser on it, okay, and still give myself a little bit of height on my follow through. So it might look like this, and there, same push, little bit of height on that one. And again, I can be a little bit looser with it. I want to go a little bit higher on this one, touch. There we go, might be a little bit looser. Okay, so you've got to try and make sure, okay, if we want low, hard, right across the box in that little corridor between the defenders and goalkeepers, go nice and hard with your technique, nice and strong, switching your hips quick. When we're going a little bit higher, we can actually be a little bit looser, okay, and just bring our body, okay, and our leg a little bit higher, okay, on the follow through. All right, we're now going to go on to the little clip, the little daisy cutter across the box. We might have a big defender at the front here and someone spare at the back, so we might have to go for a little clip. Okay, I'm going to show you that now in the same position. Right, so moving on, it has started raining, lovely, which is really annoying because it was literally bright sunshine a minute ago. But anyway, right, so the daisy cutter, the little clipped one, as I said before, if you've got a defender just in the front here and you've got someone spare at the back, you might have to clip it over them. So this one, we're sort of aiming for the back of the 6-yard box, maybe the back post, okay, still ending around that 6-yard line that we spoke about. All right, so when we're talking about this technique, we want to create a little bit of backspin on the ball. Instead of that side spin and that curl, a little bit of backspin. Okay, so if you haven't already, go and watch my improved technique video. I think it was like maybe my first or second video, I'm not sure. Might be my third video, actually. Go have a check out on how to hit that daisy cutter. Okay, I'm going to go over it briefly now. So our contact point, okay, we're going to use just in here. All right, in here, nice and close to our laces on our instep. Okay. And we want to get that diagonal foot position on the football, okay? If you're struggling to get your foot in that position, left arm up allows your body shape and your body to lean over this way a little bit more so we can get that foot underneath the ball, all right? So what we're looking to do here is get that shape, that body shape coming across the football, trying to create that backspin, okay? Now I'm going to go into the board and set the ball up inside me a little bit. It might just be a killed cross where I've got to do it quickly and I don't have time to get that touch out my feet. So it might just be kill it and then get my body shape right, come under the ball, okay, and focus on that foot position under the ball, coming across it, trying to create that backspin. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do a few now, just clipping it to the back. I'm going touch, quick touch, there, lovely. Just in there towards the back of the 6-yard box, exactly where I want it. All right, here we go, going again. Looking at that clip and that little kill touch again. It's another scenario you might get in a game where you don't have space to get it out your feet. You might just have to kill the ball. So I'm going there, I'm going touch, yep, little clip. Little backspin, perfect. Okay, so that one there is me creating backspin on the ball, clipping it, my arm up, leaning, cutting across the ball, getting right underneath it, okay, trying to find maybe a person this time, not necessarily an area like the whip cross. Again, that technique I cover really well on exactly how to do it on your strong foot and your weak foot on my improved technique video. Check it out. All right, we're now, so we've done, this is probably your generic crossing position where you're going to get most of your crosses. What about if we get to the byline? Okay, I'm now going to show you two techniques from the byline, how I can make it easier for you to improve them on a match day. All right, let's move on. Right, so I've just been beaten up by the rain, but it stopped, so I'm buzzing. Right, we are going. Next technique, technique number 3, is our cutback. Now imagine, these are both byline, okay? I want to get to the hang-up cross in a second, but now watch. As we come in, quite a lot of times here, as we're busting the gut, we're going to have options around the penalty spot. All right, now, the problem is, we've got to rush to get the ball and get to the byline before the ball goes off. All right, so we don't really have time to switch our body shape and our hips towards our target. We've just got to try and get the ball in towards the penalty spot. Maybe we're here, we've checked over our shoulder on our run towards the football, or we hear a call and we just want to get it done. So how are we going to get our feet and the ball going towards the target, even though our hips are facing away from it? All right, so it's going to be done like this. All right, now, as I said before, we can't get in certain body shapes because we're rushing to the ball and we're trying to keep it on. So when you come in here, we've got to try and find a technique where our feet are turning towards our target, but our body shape stays here. So watch the way here, my foot is coming round, trying to get as much contact around the back of the football. Okay, so in here, as I come in, I'm trying to get as much contact around the back of the football there. All right, so my toes pointing towards my target, I'm getting round the football and I'm trying to get there on the cross. So here's 2 for you. We're going round, sprinting, cut back. And it's like a little stabby one, okay, where there's loads of backlift and no follow through. Right, no follow through whatsoever. Your foot should just stop after contact, getting that change of direction on the football. We're looking, again, for these parts, inside laces. Okay, our instep, we'll do another one. We're going down, round, and we're cutting in there, back all the way to the penalty spot. Got a little friend there getting the balls in. Love it, little ball boy. Okay, so make sure, on that one, if you're struggling, think about your hips and your foot turning, okay, instead of your whole body, because then you won't be able to keep the ball on. All right, let's move on. Technique number 4. Right, so on to technique number 4. The reason I've done the cutback, okay, first, is because in terms of how your leg moves and how your body moves, it is a little bit similar to the hang-up. All right, so with the cutback, our back string is really big and our follow through short. Okay, it's exactly the same with your hang-up. All right, because we're running so fast, we've got to find something quick that's going to be able to keep the ball on and lift it up to the back post. Now with a hang-up, obviously we want height on the football. All right, now we're going to try and get under the football, okay, with our strongest part of our foot. Okay, so like the cutback, we're trying to get right behind the ball, okay, but with the cutback, I could almost use a little bit more of the inside of my foot, all right, because I'm trying to get the ball going back towards a penalty spot. With a hang-up, we're looking for back post, all right, hanging it up nice and high. So how are we going to get height on the ball? Now, quite a lot of times, you'll see people try and get their toes underneath it. Now, toes, it does work because it gets the ball nice and high, but I don't think it quite gets the distance. So when you're outside here, you're going to be using, all right, the same instep part. We're still going to use that part of your foot. We're going to try and get that round the football in a nice little stabby technique, just like your hang-up. But this time, we're going to finish it a little bit towards the back post. All right, so again, not much follow through, all back lift. Get all your pace in your back lift, and you're going to try and make contact with that part of your foot again. All right, and we're going to lift the ball up. Because it's quite a stabby technique, we're going to get right underneath the football, looking for these areas, try and cut it back. So let me move this. I'm going to do 2 now. Here we go. So I'm going out my feet, hang up. Again, I could go a little bit bigger. You go a little bit bigger. I go again. Again, really stabbing underneath the ball, running, stabbing. Like that, just floating it in towards that back area. Right, I'm going to go again. Again, this is quite difficult, these 2 techniques, so I will have loads of close-ups for you. I'm going to grab 2 again. I'm going to do another 2. All right, here we go. I'm going again. Nice out my feet. I want to try and go for a little bit more height on this one. Here we go. Down. Oh, it's a long one. There we go. Look at that. Nice and high. Perfect. Again, the thing and the main point that's going to really help us get the power. It's so hard to get our power here because we're running really quickly. We haven't got much space to work with. So the power part, use your instep. Okay, and secondly, the quicker you're running into the ball, it's going to allow you to get more power on it. All right, now we're going to be running at it quickly because it's going towards the byline, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But again, trying to get in the position where your hips are round, all right, and your foot is facing your target. We don't have time to do this. To go round the ball, be lovely with it, get in a nice body shape and cross it. The balls will be off the pitch. All right, so we've got to try and get our foot on our hip round towards our target. So make sure now, running up to the ball quick, hanging up, running up quick, hanging up, like that. Lovely, look at that. Nice and stabby, nice and hung. That's perfect, those last two. They're good examples. So that is a little introduction to 4 different crosses you can use in your games. Again, if you want to rewind any bit and go in and just pick apart the little bits of detail that I have given, please go back and do it. Again, I enjoy making these little technique videos and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you on the next one.